to learn how to use the sewing machine to sew your wig styling, stay tuned. So in this video I'm teaching you how to make a wig on a sewing machine. Yeah, so we're working with two bundles, the 16 inches and the 14 inches raw hair with a closure. This closure has been tinted, guys, so you can see it has been tinted, it has been bleached and all those good stuff. So let's start. So this is a right hand sewing machine. Every sewing machine has its guidelines, so please, before you start sewing, read your guidelines, read everything about the sewing machine before you start. So you see mine is an electric sewing machine. This is the paddle. So first of all, I'm going to plug it into the socket before we start. So that's done. So I'm going to explain some parts of the machine. So this is the machine, is a zigzag sewing machine. That's the reverse button. If you want to do any type of zigzag, that is where you go to. And this is the procedure, the way I thread my machine. So guys, please, every machine has a specification. Please read before starting. So this is what controls my needle up and down. So I'm going to show you my down ribbon and what holds my wigs or wefts together. This is it. This is detachable. So it's called the presser foot. So this is the rubbing. This is what threads the wig from under. So that's where it goes to. So that's my light. If I want, I on the light or not. So I'll be using a big thread, not a small thread. Big threads are more economical to me, so I'll be using a scissors and a blade, a razor blade. So guys, first of all, I have a lot of rubbings. I don't like running out of rubbings, so let's thread the rubbing. I don't know what other people call it, but I call it rubbing. I don't know what you guys call it in your side or your country. So first of all, I just tied some few rope over the rubbing and I'm locking it. So you see what controls, this is what you have to step on to thread the rubbing. So when you just thread a bit, you cut off the excess and you keep threading. So guys, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Keep practicing. Don't believe anyone that'll tell you once you watch one video you've gotten it all. You need to keep watching and you need to keep practicing. So we are done threading the bobbin and I'm going to show you how I put it in. So you see some little holes, just follow it and drag it in. But once your bobbin can drag very well, it shows you got it correctly. So we are going to thread the sewing machine. Every sewing machine have their different ways of threading. So guys, I'm going to put the tension in the highest, then thread my machine. Like I said, always read the guidelines before you start. Every machine has its threading procedure. So now I'm going to thread into the needle from front to back, guys, not back to front. So I'm going to put the rubbing and bring the thread down, or by taking my needle up and down and removing the thread down. So once this is done, once you've gotten your two threads, you put it under the footer and close it and start sewing. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I didn't show it in the last clip, so you see, guys. So now let's start with our net and our rigging. So we're using tipping, a curved needle. I so much love the curved needle now. So I'll be using this mesh cap. I don't know, people call it ventilated cap, anyone. Why? Because this cap is breathable. I love this cap. So it's well constructed. So make sure you put the front of the cap, not the back. So now in this video I'm going to show you how I adjusted the net. My client is a 21.5 inches, our circumference is 21.5, and this net is bigger than her. So guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I adjusted it to a size. So You see the way I'm adjusting the net. So guys, please pay attention. Watch the way I folded the extra into the net and tipping. I'm folding it, I'm folding the extra. If you sew your wig like this, it's going to be very big for your client, so you need to adjust the cap very well. They have different sizes of cap. They have the medium, they have the small, they have the large. I go for the medium to accommodate both. So this medium is bigger than my client's head, so that's why you see me adjusting. So what I did to the other side, I'm going to do to what I've done to this side, I'm going to do to the side. But let's sew this one first. So guys, there is no really big deal. Just try as much as possible to sew very neat. I love neat sewing. So just sew the nets, sew the excess nets neatly. So guys, watch me. Sorry, my hands were closing the camera. It's not really easy videoing and working at the same time. I'm still getting used to it. Please guys, don't be offended. So you see me sewing in the thread, and now I'm almost done. I'm just going to knot and tie. Nothing so technical, just easy. And you sew your wig, sew the excess lace or excess nets neatly. So guys, what we've done to right, we're going to do to the left. Same procedure. So guys, you can see it's still remaining at the other side, so I'm still going to touch it there. So we are done. Hooray! So guys, you see how flat that net is. Not too tight, not too loose. It's perfect. How you know is when you remove the tippies, your net will be laying down flat on the canvas head. So next we are going to do the closure placement. This is a 2x4 closure, I think. It's not a kimchi, it's not a 2x6, it's a 2x4, I think so. So guys, watch. I have a lot of videos on how to place your closure. I have very detailed videos how to place your closure, guys. But you can see with this video, I'm showing you that the center of the closure should also lay on the center of the wig net. You can see. That is why I love this net. This net is well explained. I love it. So guys, you see, I'm just finding my center to be sure I'm placing it rightly. So I've gotten my center, and I'm just making sure I place it rightly. You want your closure to be half an inch in front of your net. So some people like working on the back first, but me, I love placing the front first before going to the back. So I've done my front placement, then I'll go to the back and work on the back. So guys, remember your center part should be laying on the center part of the net. I don't know if I'm making sense. You can watch this video as many times as you want. You can ask questions and I will reply. So T-pins will be your friend. Any pin available will be your friend. I don't really advise sewing wigs without placing it first. So it's always good, lay your closures or your frontal properly before sewing. So you see, you need your closure to be nice and flat. So I'm going to the other side and I'm arranging. So guys, please watch my other videos. I have a very detailed video on how to place. I have a lot of detailed videos on how to place your closure. So now guys, I'm just showing you how neat and flat you need your closure to be. So once that's done, I'm going to braid the closure and just keep it neat. So some people might just mark the closure, remove it after sewing. They sew the closure, but man, that's stressful for me. So I love sewing the closures, then sew the sewing machine, and I know I'm done with it, not going back and sewing all over again. So there are different styles you can sew. You can sew round, you can sew from one side to the other. Watch my other videos, guys. So in this video I'm going to slow down how I sew the closure onto the net. You don't want that bump, you want to tie. I didn't tie mine very well, but I later cut it off. You're meant to tie it very tiny. It's not meant to be showing through the net, but I corrected mine during installation, guys. So now you see me, you have to be very careful. Why I love the curved needle is when you're using the curved needle, it's not going straight to your fingers. The straight needle have injured me so many times, and the curved needle, it's quite expensive, but it's safer and it's more easier to me, to Cynthia Weeks. I don't know if you love the other type of needle. As long as it gives us the best, you can go with it. So guys, you want to sew your closure very neat, very neat. So you can decide to sew one side, then you sew the other side, or you can decide to just sew them all. Anyone that is comfortable for you, you're good to go. So once I get to the end, I back stitch. What I mean is I go back and tie the knot. I don't tie the knot at the end. I go back a bit and tie the knot. It makes the closure stronger and makes it last longer. The sewing, I mean. So we are done with closure, and the next thing we are going to do is tracking. So I use the candy. I can't afford it. I can't afford a Sharpie, but it's expensive, yeah. So we have the two lining and the one lining. The two lining will stop at the highest point of your head, then you continue with one lining. It depends on the bundle you're working with, guys. I'm working with 2 bundles. If you're working with 4 or 3 bundles, I think you should do all of them one line spacing. My fingers are very big. I have a big finger, so if yours is smaller, maybe you do 2.5. My fingers are very big. They are so big. So my 2 fingers could be your 3 fingers. I don't know, but you understand, I have a big fingers. So when I get to the highest point of the canvas head, you can see I use 1 fingers. That will avoid the net showing through the wig. And again, it also depends on your client. If your client wants the wig to be fuller at the bottom, you add one finger. But if your client just wants the wig to be fuller at the top, you do 2 then 1 on top. Anyways, like I said, practice, baby doll, practice. Keep practicing. I'm still practicing. I'm not perfect. So you can decide if you want to cut that excess lace on the closure or if you want to keep it. But man, it's shaking. I'm gonna cut mine. So remember the sides too, you want to keep with your 2 line and your 1 line spacing. So what we did to the right, we are going to do to the left. If you're using a candle, if you're using a pencil, if you're using a Sharpie, if you're using a marker, whatever you're using, make your line neat. Make it neat. Make it as straight as possible. Yes, we're not using rulers of all those stuffs, but make it as neat and straight as possible. Reason why is this will guide you on how you place your bundle on the net. If you make a mistake, I would advise you clean it and start again. It's washable. You can wash it. You can wash the net and start again. If you make a mistake in your wefting, in making the wig, it will really affect the wig entirely. So guys, make sure this tracking, or I call it tracking, people call it close weft placement, just make sure you get it perfect. So guys, we're done, and let's enter into the main business, which is the sewing machine. Hooray! So I'm so excited. So I'm going to be using the shorter bundle, the shorter inches, then the longer after. So this, my bundle is 150 grams, it's not 100, so it's really very full and long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double the weft. I will sew it single because I want all the wefts, all the weaves to enter into my wig. So guys, you can see I need to double it, meaning I need to put one weave on top the other using a sewing machine. So guys, you can watch this video as many times as you want. You can slow the video, you can make it fast, just as long as you get it, guys. So guys, I'm going to be supporting the presser foot, or trying to push it back a bit. If not, it will get stuck. My sewing machine is very old now. I didn't buy it as a new sewing machine, it was a very used. I will afford one soon. So guys, you see, I will just fasten this procedure, and you can slow yours, it's still the same thing. All I'm doing is just double wefting. I'm arranging. Please always arrange once you finish sewing one section, go arrange before you bring the other section. So guys, let's time ourselves 10:50. So we started 10:50, and when we end, we know when the time. So when you're done with the wefting, you just drag it and cut off. So guys, you can see, I think the best sewing method is a zigzag. I'm not really a fan of using the straight to sew. So we're going to start from the first track we made. Let me come close. So you want to sew the one on top, not the one under, the one on top. So guys, this sewing machine is really simple, as long as you've gotten your track placement very right and you've doubled your weft. But remind you, I said if your weft is not that full, you single it. What I know is the more you practice, the more you get the hang of it. The more you practice, the more you get the hang of it. If you make a mistake and the weft is not enough, maybe you lose some and add it up. So I'm going to show you 3 different styles of using the sewing machine. So the first one is just sew it direct onto the hair. When you're done, you bring it out from the sewing machine. In this video, I didn't use the reverse stitching, meaning after sewing the beginning, I go back and re-sew again. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm done with the first method. You can see the beginning of my wefting or sewing is not, you can see. So I'm going to go back and sew that part. So I advise you just use the reverse button and it sews it. It's way easier. So the second part, which is my favorite, I sew, then I reverse back. I'll show you what it means, guys. Please don't stretch your closure too much. Don't even stretch it at all. Why? Because the more you stretch, the more you expand the lace, and it won't fit your client. I'm sorry if my hands are kind of blocking. I'm really trying to show you guys everything. I'm not holding anything. This is what I do, and this is a client's wig. So guys, you can see I'm following the line. I'm strictly following the line. No magic here. As long as you've gotten your line placement, guys, I keep repeating myself. As long as you've gotten your light placement, all you have to do is just put the weft on the line and you sew. So when you get to the end, you cut. The sewing machine does not do blanket folding or folding it to the other side. To get that flat beautiful look, you need to cut the excess weave. When you get to the edge, you cut. I'm more comfortable using the razor blade than the scissors. It gives me control of what to cut. So now I finished sewing. You see me turning the weave and sewing it back. I really believe it gives my wig longevity. It makes it last longer. You can sew once, but I just prefer this. This will consume more thread, but I don't mind. So once you get it, you just cut. Please be careful of the blade or the scissors you're using. So I'm going to show you the third part, how you sew your wefts using the sewing machine, how you sew your wig using the sewing machine. So in this part, you're going to sew. Remember, I'm following my line. I'm not skipping. So when you sew a part, you see me going back to arrange. I'm not sewing once. I'm arranging that section I want to sew. You see, I go to the next. I arrange. I am not dragging, guys. I am not dragging. I am not stretching. I'm just making that place flat and smooth. Please don't drag. Please don't stretch. So now what makes this one the third part is, instead of removing the thread, the wig from the sewing machine, you just reverse back and you continue sewing. So guys, you see I've turned. So instead of removing it out, I'm just going to put another weft, another weave or weft, anyone, and continue sewing. This is faster, I won't lie. This is the fastest way of making your wig under 30 minutes, 20 minutes or so. But I don't believe being fast is really the problem. I believe you need to be fast, yes, but you need a good work. I am more comfortable with the second one than this last one. So anyone you want that you've practiced with, is good to go. They're all the same thing. I just love double sewing and just stressing my life. I don't want the clients coming and telling me it's pulling off, but the sewing machine is the strongest way of making your wig. Yes, it is. It makes your wig last longer. So there's not really any particular order. You can do the first one, you can do the second one. The first one is you just sew once. The second one you sew, then you go back and you go back and you sew. Then the third one you sew once, you reverse and you place another weave. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys. I really don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope you understand. Please leave any comments in the comment section. I will reply. So guys, so that's the 3 methods on how you use the sewing machine. So I'm going to go back to my second method and we'll see you soon. So remember, babies, do not stretch your cap. Always arrange the next section before you sew and keep practicing. It's not about how fast you are, but how good you are, how neat you are, how is your wig. So let's fasten this part and we'll be back. guys, I'm showing you the back of the wig. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's how the back looks. Those white things are the candle markings. They're not so serious. Once you dust them out, they will go. So I'm double wefting the second one, and we are the last track. Practice, babies. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. The first time I used the sewing machine, I got so frustrated and so angry with myself, but I kept practicing. Keep practicing. Use your weaves to practice. Don't use the client's weaves to practice. When you've gotten the end of it, you can now start. So you see the single weft remaining. I just want to just fix it somewhere, because it's a waste to me, and moreover it's a client's wig, so I love putting all my clients' hair into their wig. So I just found a particular space, and I'm just going to tuck it there. So guys, I'm done. So you can see how neat the back of the wig is. You can see how neat. So any excess thread, you use your scissors and you just cut off all those excess threads before sending to your client. So now guys, we're going to cut this excess lace to expose our closure. So you want to gently, I'm so careful with this part. There's a time I mistakenly cut the closure. I had to remove the closure and start. The process is long, but you need to be very careful. Wherever you're using to cut the lace, you need to be very careful. So any little thread or net, I just cut off. And please, when cutting, don't cut very close to where you sew. If not, to start from there to start losing. So these knots have been bleached, and my client is a chocolate color, so I'm going to use a powder closest to her skin to touch the closure. You can use a foundation, you can use a lace tint. For this class, we're just going to use a powder. You don't want those orange knots on her head, so use the powder closest to your client's skin color or to your skin color. So that is done. So I'm going to show you how the laces looks now. So guys, you can see how the lace is looking so beautiful. No orangey, no brownie. So next thing, we are going to go into styling. Elastic. So the elastic band is one of the second security I put on my wigs. I put it to give it second security. Please don't mind my braids. I've not braided my hair for 2 days now, so please. So my client's elastic measurement is 8.5. I was looking for it. You can see 8.5. So I can't use mine. So when I want to do a wig for a client, I ask for all measurements. So guys, you can see I'm showing you how I cut the elastic band. So you see my 8, I'm going to 8.5 and cut. Every client's head measurement is not the same. If you want that perfect wig, you need to do it based on your client's head. Even when I wore the wig, it was fine, but it was not fitting me the way it fitted her. She didn't send me videos of when she wore the wig. My client is not close to me. She was very far from me. So after making the wig, I sent it through DHL. So she wore the wig and sent it to me on WhatsApp, but I forgot to put it in the video. So guys, when you want to sew the elastic band, you need to sew opposite each other to give it that flat look. you see, opposite each other, not so guys, you can see, will I say opposite or facing each other? Okay, you have to sew it facing each other, and see the proper way you sew it. You sew it there, you don't push it back. If you push it down, it's going to be very, very tight, so you need to put it at the edge of where the ear is. So there's no really a fancy way of sewing. Just sew it very neat and very tight. With time, the elastic band gets weak. With time, the elastic band gets loosened. All your clients have to do is just to remove the thread and put another elastic band. Some people use machine to sew their elastic band, but I'm not really a fan of it, because I know with time the elastic band will get loosened. So using a sewing machine will be so difficult to lose, and you might end up ripping your lace. So using the hand to sew, it's kind of easier when you want to change the elastic band. So we are going to do the same to the other side, and we will be back. So guys, I've done it. So I'm going to show you the hook. Yeah, this is the hook the cap came with. I call it hook. It's a hook. You just hook both of them and this. So I put the elastic to give it a strong measurement. So guys, we're done. We started at 10:50 and ended at 11:38, which is 48 minutes. Not so bad. The more I practice, the more I get faster. So guys, stretching, I'm going to stretch the hair to give it that silky look. Remember, before using any hot treatment, please use a heat protector. I have videos on how to stretch your hair. Silk press. So closure styling, I'm going to be using the cancel styling mousse to lay those closure very flat. Shea butter, cancel shea butter. So I have two toothbrushes. I use one for the styling mousse, then I'll use the second one for the wax stick. I know I'm old school, yes. Hot combs have been my friend, so I use them to press the hair very down to make it very flat. So once that's done, I'm going to go to my closure and flatten it. So I take one part into 2 or 3 depending on how full the closure is. This is a 2x4 closure, so I took one side, I divided it into 2, then went to the other side. This business, you need to invest. You need to invest in hot combs. You need to invest in nice tools to make your wig nice. So you see how flat this is. So I'm going to the main center and doing the same thing. So we're going to do the same thing all over the closure, guys. All over the closure. You stretch it and you use your styling mousse. Any brush that is comfortable for you to use, you can use. I love using the toothbrushes. They are very small and they can control the styling mousse properly. For me, some use other type of brushes, as long as they give you good results. So guys, can you see this? Wow, this is beautiful. So you see the wax stick, I'm using my fingers to bring out the wax. I don't want too much, I just want a little. I don't even see it necessary anymore, but I just put a little to show you guys. So guys, you see I have 2 brushes. This is for the wax stick, while the blue one is for the styling mousse. I don't like mixing 2 different products with one brush. It's kind of messy when you're done. and you know I'm an advocate for clean and neat wig. So guys, installation time. Hi Cynthia. So guys, this is not my head size, but I just want to just install the wig to show you guys how I install. So you can see the elastic band. My wigs come with elastic band. If you want a wig, you can order on Instagram. You can send me a DM, or you send me a Twitter. I don't have a website right now. So guys, you can see how beautiful this wig is, even though it's not my size. I'm a 22 inches. Why this wig is a 21 inch, but I love it anyway. So I'm going to show you how you cut your closure real quick. So I'll be using the small eyebrow scissors. I was really not seeing it properly. I was not seeing. I was very far to my mirror. So let's try. So you don't want to cut it straight, and please guys, don't cut your hair. I mistakenly did, but don't cut your hair. You don't want to go straight. You want to go in a zigzag pattern. And this closure was not plucked. Client did not want me to pluck it. It was not plucked at all. But even at that, I love the wig. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Watch, I did not just cut straight. I sectioned the net into 3. Cut one side, then the other. It's easier for me to work with. Wherever it's easier for you to do, not minding what other people do, guys, go for it. You can learn new things, but do it in a way it's easier for you to do. So the cap I wore is very light on my skin. I just wore it. I have a lot of caps that are my skin color, but I just decided to wear this one to show you how dark the closure is after. So guys, you can see so flat and sweet. So I so much love this wig. So much love this wig. It's a 14 and 16 inches. Let me stand up. You see how long it is. Guys, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share. Please share to your friends, share to your families and your loved ones, even your enemies. Thank you. Love you.